So what I want you to again notice is that every one of these has to be aligned. Whatever it is you do, your product touch points, your system touch points, and your human touch points, they all have to be aligned to reinforce and amplify your overpromise. That's your goal. So what is it am I telling the customer to look for? And then how does each of these touch points reinforce that overpromise? So let's talk about Apple, the company. Apple's overpromise is insanely great. Not just good, not just very good, it's got to be insanely great or it can't have an Apple logo on it. So they have insanely great music players. They have insanely great phones. They have insanely great computers. They have the insanely great iPad mini. I got one for Christmas. It's awesome. They have this insanely great download platform that toddlers and grandmothers can use. And they have this insanely great product development platform for apps that enables the whole world to generate new technology for their technology, new applications for their technology. The average iPhone user has 108 apps per phone. What's the likelihood you go, I don't need any of that, I'll just switch? This is an insanely great front door. I can tell you that this front door would never have happened in what I call corporate America. Never. Can you imagine the building design guy going to the CEO or the board or the committee and saying, hey, you know what? I have this idea. I want to build a completely glass front door for our New York City location. Now, let me just tell you before you think that I'm crazy, that it's not possible. Because the glass, there is no architectural glass available that will be standalone. It has to be framed. But I have a solution. I'm going to build a factory in China to build a new kind of glass. In fact, I've got a patent for it already. We're going to build a new factory in China to build the glass, to build the new front door, and it's only going to cost $27 million. What do you think, boss? Can you see that happening in any corporation in America other than Apple? No, because Jobs is insane, and he says, I want an insanely great front door. Build a factory. Get it done. He holds a patent on the architectural glass for that. And I'll tell you something. One of the most fun things I've ever done in my life is just, there's a bench over there in the corner. I sit there and I watch all the tourists come by, and it's fascinating. They're walking along with their family, and they're thinking about the theater, and they got their little maps, and they're all doing whatever, and then they look up and they see that. And they just go, oh. I mean, like moths to a flame. You can't walk past this building. It is not possible. Okay? It is like a fly trap. I mean, it just sucks in everybody who walks by. Not possible to walk past that without going in. This is their competitor's store. Imagine that you promised your kid, yeah, I'll pick up a computer for you on the way home from work. Okay, you get off the roof about 8 p.m., and you swing by here, and you go, oh, yeah, so I think I need to buy a computer. Let's see. How are you feeling right now? Overwhelmed? Exhausted? You go, nah, maybe tomorrow. And you leave there, and you walk past here, and you go, oh, well, look, that's pretty. Oh, that's nice. I like that. How much is that? Okay, I'll take that. That's good. And they're people. They have Mac specialists and Mac geniuses, okay? But they equip them properly, and they train them properly. I was in the store not too long ago with my son. His laptop was broken, and she met me right at the front door, and she's like, hi, welcome to Apple. How you doing? What seems to be the problem? I said, well, my son's computer won't boot. I think it's the power supply, but I don't really know. So she said, no problem. She whips out her iPhone. She flips the computer over. She punches in the serial number. And she says, well, that unit is out of warranty, But she said, if you'd like, I can try and put a new power supply on it, and if that works, then we'll get you going. I said, great. She pushes a button on her iPhone. The kid runs from the back room with a power supply, hands it to her. She plugs it in. Boom, laptop powers right up. She says, that's great. I'll take care of that for you. She said, how would you like to pay? I gave her my credit card. She swipes it through her phone. She looks at me and says, so would you prefer a paper receipt or would you prefer a virtual receipt? Okay, I had no idea what a virtual receipt was. I mean, none whatsoever. But I didn't want to look like a Luddite and a stupid old guy in front of this beautiful young woman. So I looked at her with confidence and I said, I'd like a virtual receipt. She said, okay. I said, okay, great. And I went home. And there in my email was my virtual receipt. That is cool. Everything at Apple is insanely great, which is why they have done so well as a company and why that brand is the most powerful brand on the planet. And you too can have a brand that is equally as powerful.